Welcome to City Roundup, brought to you by the City of Pensacola, with your host, Saida Rosa. City Roundup is your one-stop shop for everything having to do with the City of Pensacola. And now, Saida.
Happy March, Pensacola, and thanks for tuning in to City Roundup. I'm your host, Saida Rosa with the City of Pensacola. As always, we'd like to start our show off with a message from Mayor Grover Robinson. This was recorded earlier in the week.
Hi, and welcome to the last week of February here in the City of Pensacola. We have a lot of things going on this week. We hope you'll be able to join us. We'll have a City Council meeting on the 28th. During that City Council meeting, we'll be recognizing some of our heroes here, celebrating the end of African American Black History Month with the 55 JCs team. We'll also have a meeting with several announcements going on through the city, so I hope you have the chance to attend. Otherwise, it continues to finally get a little bit of sunny weather here, and hopefully we'll have a good week the rest of the week. Until then, let us know what we can do for you and help you, and we'll continue to be out there. Thank you.
As a reminder, the Mayoral Transition team will be presenting their final report at a meeting on Monday, March 4th at 8:30 a.m. in the council chambers. The Mayoral Transition team has been gathering feedback from the community for the last 90 days to come up with a report for the mayor to use as a strategic plan for the city. Make sure you're following the mayor on social media for important updates. All you have to do is search Pensacola Mayor on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We've been telling you about Gull Point Resource Center reopening, and now we're showing you. This week, Vernon Stewart and Tanya Vaden traveled to District 1 to host the Upside. Learn more right now.
Welcome to the Upside, brought to you by the City of Pensacola, with your hosts, Vernon Stewart and Tanya Vaden. Also, special reporter Allie Norton. The Upside is here to bring you news, views, and activities from right here in Pensacola. And now the Upside with Vernon and Tanya.
Welcome back to another episode of The Upside. I'm your host, Vernon Stewart.
And I'm Tanya Vaden, and we're at the new and improved Gull Point Resource Center. On February 19th, we celebrated the reopening of the center with a ribbon cutting. The center closed May of last year for renovations. We made a bunch of improvements to the kitchen, the bathrooms, the dance rooms, and the front common area.
It starts with things like right here at Gull Point. So I'm very proud to be here today as we move forward. I'm very proud to see our staff out here, City of Pensacola workers that do a great job continuing to provide services and amenities to you on a daily basis and making those things available. So I'm very excited to get this thing open and for us to go forward from here.
Mayor Grover Robinson, council members P.C. Wu and Ann Hill, as well as Escambia County Commissioner Robert Bender, were at the ribbon cutting to show off the upgrades. Registration for Session 4 classes is now open. You can learn body conditioning, cardio kickboxing, yoga, and even belly dancing. Soon we'll also have 2 new classes for our residents 50 and older. Visit playpensacola.com for more information.
We have some great news from our Pensacola Police Department. They received re-accreditation by the Commission for Florida Law Enforcement Accreditation. Mayor Grover Robinson and Police Chief Tommy Leiter traveled to St. Augustine for the ceremony on February 20th. The process of accreditation requires an in-depth review of every aspect of the agency's organizations, management, operations, and administration. The accreditation standards provide norms against which agency performance can be measured and monitored over time. So congratulations to the entire team at the Pensacola Police Department.
We also have some good news from the Pensacola Fire Department.
Nice.
A date has been set for the ribbon cutting ceremony of the new Fire Station 3. We hope you will join us on March the 14th at 2 p.m. We will have a fire hose uncoupling and be pushing an engine into the new house located at 2750 Summit Boulevard.
Speaking of the fire department, we just had 2 longtime employees retire. Lieutenant Ron McCorvey and firefighter Tyron McCassler started with the Pensacola Fire Department within a year of each other and have a combined 61 years of service to the City of Pensacola. We cannot thank them enough for the impact that they had, and we wish them well in their retirement.
The Bayview Tennis Center courts are back open and just in time for the warmer weather. They closed in January to be resurfaced, and now that that's done, Parks and Recreation Department will be resurfacing the courts under the Interstate 110 and restripe the courts to accommodate pickleball. And before we go, we want to congratulate the Fricker Heat on their big win on Tuesday night, February the 19th. They won the Alpha Elite Basketball 7 and Under Championship in a hard-fought game against the Woodland Thunder.
Well, Pensacola, that is all we have for you this week in The Upside. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next week.
This has been The Upside, brought to you by the City of Pensacola. Join us right here again next week for more of The Upside.
Technology is a huge part of our daily lives, and for our Pensacola Fire Department, it can be life-saving. On this episode of City Spotlight, Fire Chief Ginny Cranor thanks the community for allowing the department to purchase 6 new infrared cameras and shows us how they are used by her firefighting team.
Today we are going to look at our thermal imaging cameras. These cameras can see heat signatures, so it depends on the temperature of objects, and obviously they're looking for victims inside of fires with the cameras. Hi, I'm Fire Chief Ginny Cranor with the Pensacola Fire Department. Obviously inside of a fire, there's a lot of smoke, there's a lot of heat, and then we go in there with hose lines and spray water, and then that changes the entire thermal balance inside of that space, which makes it difficult to see anything. Sometimes you can't even see the hand in front of your face. These cameras help us see through that smoke, see through that steam, and find victims trapped in the fire. So this camera shines a beam like a flashlight. It shines a beam toward the space. These cameras are programmed to take the temperature of common construction materials. Really, it's block and it's sheetrock that these cameras are measuring. But we don't just search for victims with these cameras. We also can look at hazardous material situations. We can see power lines with it at night. We could find victims if there was a terrible car crash. We could see if anyone had been ejected. So there's more things than just fires that we use the cameras for. We have 6 brand new thermal imaging cameras purchased with LOST money. So thank you to Pensacola. And we have 2 of the older cameras on our ladder companies. So every fire company in the city of Pensacola has a thermal imaging camera now, thanks to the LOST funding. These cameras are essential to our equipment, but the most important part of this camera is the firefighter operating the camera. The firefighter is trained to understand what that image is doing. It's just a computer sending a digital image to this screen, and that firefighter with a mask on is the person that's trained to understand what that image means and act in whatever way it is. And then we need our firefighters in there to rescue the victims if one is found.
For more episodes of The Upside and City Spotlight, visit our YouTube channel. We'll be right back after these messages.
Cooking with natural gas is more controlled than using an electric range. But more importantly, they're less expensive to operate. Don't get burned with electric. Learn more at PensacolaEnergy.com.
Natural gas homes are in demand. Here's what home builders have to say.
One of the major roles of us using the tankless water heaters and gas cooktops is because of trying to utilize energy efficient features in our homes. Without reservation, our owners that have moved into a home where we use this natural gas have always been happy that we've used this and very satisfied with the product.
Natural gas from Pensacola Energy, the clean, reliable, earth-friendly choice.
Welcome back, and now we turn to our green tip of the week. Yard waste may be green, but it doesn't belong in the recycle bin. The City of Pensacola will collect your green waste. Just make sure it's curbside. Would you like to work for the City of Pensacola or know someone who would? We're hiring. This week's featured job is for a street sweeper operator. This is skilled work in the operation of specially designed street sweeping equipment. To learn more about it and apply, visit PensacolaCityJobs.com. We'll be right back after this.
Hey Hannah, what are you looking at? Hakeem, I think I need to have my garbage cart replaced and that pothole needs to be repaired.
So call the city.
I don't know. I mean, there's so many numbers, I don't even know where to start.
Hannah, it's simple. Just dial 311.
311? What's that?
It's your one number for access to all city services.
I don't know about that. I mean, wouldn't I have to call the sanitation department about the cart and then the public works department about the pothole?
Hannah, not anymore. You simply dial 311 and you're connected to a knowledgeable representative who can handle your request or connect you to the appropriate department. It's that simple.
311, huh?
311.
Okay, so 311 can help me with my sanitation cart and potholes. Can it help me with anything else?
Absolutely. Street lights, flooding, sidewalks, code requests, traffic signals, the list goes on and on and on. You can reach them by dialing 311 or submitting your request on the city's user-friendly website. They even have a mobile app that you can enter your request on your smartphone.
Wow, I'm impressed.
So, what are you going to do?
I'm gonna call 311.
Thank you for calling Pensacola 311. How can I help you?
I have a pothole on my street and I also need a new garbage cart.
We can take care of that for you. I'll just need the location information and we will process both requests right away.
That's it?
That's it. You can also track the status of your request online as well. Is there anything else I can help you with?
That will be all. Thank you.
No, thank you for helping to keep our city beautiful.
Look, there's debris covering that storm drain. I better call 311 when I can catch my breath.
Why wait, there's a mobile app for that.
Some food for thought for your Friday. In this episode of Coastal Cooking Quick Bites, host John Scanlon from Pensacola Energy shows us how to use natural gas to make prosciutto wrapped shrimp with tortellini.
On this episode of Coastal Cooking Presents Quick Bites, we have prosciutto wrapped shrimp with tortellini. Make sure to stick around and find out how it's done.
Welcome to Coastal Cooking Quick Bites, brought to you by Pensacola Energy.
Welcome to Coastal Cooking Presents Quick Bites. I'm your host, John Scanlon. We have a very special guest with us today. We have from Pensacola Energy, the marketing coordinator, Maria Stolfi. And she found a recipe in the Fiesta Seafood Cookbook, Taste of Pensacola. And what are you making for us today, Maria?
It is the prosciutto wrapped shrimp over some tortellini, which it's really good. So I have already started wrapping some prosciutto shrimp. And I'm going to show you guys how to wrap it and put it on the skewer. So first I'm going to start off before I do that. We already got the water boiling for the tortellini. It takes about 10 minutes to make it al dente per the recipe. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in here. And now the tortellini already floats to the top. They like to be seen. They don't sink like any other normal pasta. So I put a little bit of olive oil in there. It says to put salt in there. This dish is a little salty, so I don't add any more salt to it. Prosciutto is a salty meat. In the recipe, it says to put salt and pepper on your shrimp before you wrap it. Just stick to pepper. Do not put salt on it. So we're gonna take the shrimp, put some black pepper over it. Then you're gonna take your prosciutto and just wrap it around your shrimp.
You know, I've heard that's actually also called parm ham.
Parm ham.
Yes.
Okay. It's also the Italian bacon. They taste very similar. And there are also some recipes out there that have a lot of bacon wrapped shrimp. You see them a lot of time in restaurants around town. So this was my first one that I saw with prosciutto on the recipe. That's what got me really interested in it. So you're just gonna make sure that you get both ends on your shrimp and just stick it down there. Now make sure that you soak your bamboo skewers in water first. So whenever you put them on your grill, they don't fry up, because you will taste that in your recipe. So just wrap it around. And it's really easy if you have kids. They will think this is very fun. And it does take a lot of prep work. So if you do have kids, you can kind of do something else as you're doing this part of the recipe. So I wouldn't butt them up against each other. Just leave about a little space in between because you don't want this part of the shrimp to not cook.
I wouldn't even thought of that.
And then leave the tails on there too. That's just always a good part about it. Just presentation wise, it looks good. And also that is a easy way to know that the shrimp is done in the inside because obviously it's wrapped around the prosciutto. So you won't exactly know when that shrimp is going to be done. All right. Oh, there we go. Now that that's done and we have our two beautiful skewers, we'll come over here to our grill, which I've already preheated. And make sure you just spray it down with some in the can Pam. I just generally grease it. And then we're just going to place them on the grill. Now they're going to cook on one side for 2 minutes, and then the other side they're going to cook for at least 3 to 4 minutes. And then you'll know if they're done or not. The tails will turn pink like they normally would whenever you're cooking shrimp. All right, now while our shrimp are cooking and our tortellini is in its hot tub, we are going to start on our Alfredo sauce. So our pot is heated up just a little bit. We're going to start with our stick of butter. And we're going to let that heat up and melt down. So once the stick is completely melted, you will add your heavy cream. And the best way to make your Alfredo is with a plastic spatula, so you can completely get around the edges. And when you see the top of your shrimp sweating, you're gonna flip. Multitasking.
And so it was 2 minutes on the first side, 3 to 4 minutes the second side?
Yes. And you're gonna leave it on the other side a little bit extra, just so the shrimp in the inside can cook. So now that my butter in my Alfredo pan is melted all the way through, I'm gonna add my heavy cream. And this is a cup of heavy cream. And we added a half a stick of butter in there before. So you're gonna let the heavy cream heat up just a little bit. You don't want it to come to a complete boil. Once you see that the heavy cream is bubbling up on the sides, you will add your Parmesan cheese. You can also get Romano cheese. It's basically the same thing. They do have the same flavors.
The shrimp looks really good.
It smells really good too, doesn't it? And you can see the tails are turning pink. That means that the shrimp is almost done. That's why you wouldn't want to take the tails off of the shrimp. So my heavy cream and butter mixture for my Alfredo sauce is coming to a bubble around the sides. I'm gonna add my Romano cheese a little bit at a time. You don't want to add it in all at once, because then you're just gonna have a big glump of cheese all in one side. So just add it in a little at a time. If you have an emulsifier, it would work really well. So it would just kind of mix it all together all at once. So you just want to add it in a little at a time so the cheese has time to melt. All right. And these shrimp look about done. So we can put those on our plate. Those look wonderful. And stir occasionally when you're making your Alfredo, so the cheese doesn't stick to the bottom of the plate. All right, so we drained our tortellini, and you don't have to rinse it with water or anything. Just all you do is put it in your little colander and it's good to go. With our Alfredo, we just added in our cheese and just wait until that cheese melts completely, and then it's good to go as well. So now we're gonna plate. So first you'll take your tortellini and go ahead and scoop some in there. Surprisingly, tortellini is very filling, so you don't need a lot. Now your Alfredo. So good. All right. And the main course. And you can garnish with basil or parsley. And there you have it. The prosciutto wrapped shrimp over tortellini.
And that recipe can be found in the Fiesta Seafood Cookbook, A Taste of Pensacola. It's a cookbook with 25 years of history, a lot of different restaurants from the Pensacola area. They've all been featured at the Fiesta Seafood Grill at the Pensacola Seafood Festival. We do sell the books for $15 a piece. All the proceeds go to the Escambia Utility Assistance Program that helps the elderly pay the utility bills. Make sure to give us a call at 850-436-5050 and order one today. Make sure you watch all our other videos. We're featuring a lot of others from the Fiesta Seafood Cookbook. Make sure you hit the subscribe button to find out all the new recipes that are coming out and try one of these yourself.
This has been Coastal Cooking Quick Bites, brought to you by Pensacola Energy.
That's all we have for this episode of City Roundup. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you same place, same time next week.
This has been City Roundup with Saida Rosa. City Roundup is the City of Pensacola's one-stop shop for everything having to do with Pensacola. Join us again each Friday at 8 a.m. for more of City Roundup.